Hi, I'm James from Trans Leeds. My pronouns are he, him, and Trans Day of Remembrance can be really hard. We are remembering our siblings who should be with us and are not, and it hurts. And this year has been incredibly difficult. A majority of us have been cut off from our communities, and dealing with this in isolation is harder than it ever has been before. And that is why this year is so important for us to focus on the strength and resilience of our community, and remind each other that we are not alone. And that's why I'm here to talk about Trans Leeds. We are a support and advocacy group for trans and non-binary people in Leeds and the surrounding areas. Back when things were open, we had a lot of in-person groups, both social and support, to bring the community together and allow people to get the advice and support that they needed and give them a safe space to get that help and vent. We also do a lot of stuff outside of our groups, a lot of one-on-one advocacy work with people. We can help you with stuff like deed polls, talk to GPs, help you with stuff with gender clinics, just help you in any aspect of your transition that we can. We also want to help you in areas not just with your transition. As a community, we have to stick together. When we had our mid-month groups, we would partner with MESMAC and Forward Leeds to give people STI screenings and addiction and recovery help. We also provide support for people's families and friends and answer questions and give advice. We also provide trans awareness training for people's workplaces. And we're trying to keep this energy going now, even in the lockdown. We are having our Zoom meetings and we're trying to be as active as we can on social media. You are not alone and you don't have to be. And if you feel alone, please contact us on transleads.lgbt, our Facebook, facebook.com/transleads, and our Twitter @transleads. We are always here to help if we can, and we have a wonderful team of staff who are ready to listen.
I'm Natasha from the LGBT Community Hub. Trans Day of Remembrance is a day we remember those who have been lost over the last year. This year has been especially trying for our communities. This year, we remember those who have been lost to violence, those who have been lost through inequality, and those who have been lost through the ongoing pandemic. Leeds City Council remains committed to improving the lives of trans and non-binary people in the city and supporting the invaluable work of the trans community organisations. The Leeds LGBT+ Community Hub allows community organisations and individuals like you to engage with the council about the issues that are affecting your community. Everyone's welcome to get involved. To get in touch, email leedslgbt@leeds.gov.uk. Together, we can make Leeds a trans-inclusive city.
I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. I am a tower of strength within and without. I am a tower of strength within. Let all burdens fall from my shoulders, all anxiety slip from my mind. Let all burdens fall from my shoulders, all anxiety slip from my mind. Let every turf be silent, every turf fuck off. Let every turf be silent, every turf fuck off.
Hi, I'm Sayang. I'm the father of House of Flava and I'm one of the founders of Flesh and Tension. How we give support through Flesh and Tension and House of Flava is, I find, just holding space together as marginalised trans people. I think it's so important to be able to just stand in silence and to dance together and spread joy together. I think there's a lot of support found in that, especially as personally speaking as a brown trans person and non-binary person. I think it's really beautiful to feel empowered and not like the victim in how my story and narrative is told and shared with others. On Trans Day of Remembrance, it's really important to me to honour and respect those who have passed, but also really appreciate and enjoy the beauty and strength and power that they had and continue to have in their legacy. So I tend to listen to music and look at beautiful art and things made by incredible trans people, specifically black and brown trans people, on this day.
My name is Axelle Azekel, and I'm a black, queer, non-binary activist, and I create community spaces for those with intersecting marginalised identities. So how do I take care of myself? How do I practice self-care? Well, honestly, by resting, because rest is resistance. Capitalism would have you believe that if you're not working 24/7, then you are not worthy, and that in itself is a lie, because as long as you are existing, you are worthy. And how are you supposed to make a change? How are you supposed to help people? How are you supposed to help yourself if you're burned out? You need to ensure that you're nourishing yourself, that you're rejuvenating yourself, and the best way to do that is to rest, whatever that looks like to you. To me, it looks like taking a nap. I like to sleep, I like to nap, and it looks like taking time for myself without feeling guilty. So yeah, remember that rest is resistance, and take care of yourselves.
For me, it's super important to become an ally, to educate myself, to understand my privileges, especially as a female-born black queer person. I understand that my black sisters who are trans don't have the privileges I have. It's important for me to listen to them and to understand what is going on in the black trans community. There are a lot of voices that are unheard, a lot of voices that weren't heard because of the being murdered. It's important for me to educate the black community into what is happening, because their lives matter just as much as cis life matters. It's important for me to listen to podcasts, to come across those who identify as trans or non-binary, because it's important to have them as friends.
Hello, I'm Malaika. Happy Trans Day of Remembrance. I find support in my people, in black and brown trans people, in my friends and my chosen family and my birth family too, and with my therapist and with my hot water bottle and with animals. Animals are very supportive. All of them. We love them. And I give support enthusiastically. And I try and give support with unconditional love. I'm learning how to do that. And I try and give support financially, if I can, emotionally, in the work that I do, and with as much energy and care as I can muster. I think that's really important. Happy Trans Day of Remembrance.
My name's Finn, and my pronouns are they, them. The way that I find comfort is from my non-binary soulmates, one of whom I'm lucky enough to live with, and being held both physically as well as emotionally at the moment is something that I feel really, really privileged to be able to have. In terms of giving support, I work in mental health, and keeping trans healthcare on the agenda at work is something that's really important to me, and challenging the institutional discrimination that I come across, and really pushing for better healthcare for us all, as well as keeping anti-racism as a core part of my practice, recognising that I wouldn't be here and be able to live the life that I can if it wasn't for the trans people of colour who have come before me and fought so hard for us.
Hi, we're Non-Binary Leeds, a community-led support and direct action group based in Leeds. Every month we run support groups and social events to bring trans and non-binary people together and create a comfortable, safe environment for all trans people. We also organise and distribute a solidarity fund to help local trans people in times of emergency, paying for food, rent or other essentials.
As trans people, we have inherited a lot of collective grief and trauma, and alone it can be so hard to process that. But we also inherit the love, solidarity, and long history of banding together, building support networks, fighting and caring for one another that makes this community so strong and beautiful.
On Trans Day Remembrance, of course, we should mourn those we've lost, and remember we have some way to go to liberation. But we should also celebrate the brilliant ongoing legacy of love and solidarity that we have built together in a sometimes hostile world. Our community is what connects us and makes us strong, and that strength makes a better world possible for all of us.